I wanna love you in every kind of way.
Made it through the airport, through the bullshit ass TSA. Now I'm about to eat.
Huh?
I don't look.
Yeah. Doing fine.
Hey, thank you. I need to get me some of these M&Ms. Second meal, New York pizza. Okay, the first video I decided to share with you guys is going to be my flight experience. It was my first flight, for one. It wasn't bad, but I didn't really enjoy it. I guess maybe because I'm pregnant, so I got really nauseous. I got really lightheaded. I felt like I needed oxygen, like I couldn't breathe, like going up in the air. I felt really just sick overall until we kind of balanced out in the air. They gave us snacks, which was kind of good. They gave us water, no juice, no drinks or whatever, so that kind of was like, But I ended up getting a sweet tea and some snacks before I ended up getting on the plane, period. And I didn't know I could take it on there, so I was kind of trying to rush and eat it. But they ended up telling me I can take it on the plane. So I ended up taking my shit on the plane. Yeah, so I got like 4 items. It came up to like $15. I didn't know the airport was that high. Yeah, each item was like $5 a piece or so. Other than that, the flight was good. Landing was horrible once again, because when I was going down, I just started to feel really sick, really nauseous. But it was fun. It was a fun experience. It was a great experience. I'm glad I got to experience it. I'd rather experience it not pregnant though, because a lot of people was telling me that was the big problem. Like, just me being pregnant, it wasn't going to be the best or whatever. And it wasn't the best, but it was a great experience for me, with it being my first time flying. So yeah. Since I can't get a good video in the mirror, lunch for today, tacos and Ritas. And cause I'm back with another topic for my video. But anyways, how I found out I was pregnant. I ended up going to Mississippi on a casino trip, and I ended up trying to drink because I usually drink when I'm on a casino trip because I don't drink too much while I'm home, or I don't go out and stuff to drink or nothing like that. So like whenever I go on a trip, I'm gonna get drunk, I'm gonna get fucked up because I'm away from home. So yeah, this specific trip or this specific time, I tried to drink maybe once or twice, and I just began to feel like really sick, like something wasn't right. And so I told myself I'm just gonna not drink. I'm gonna drink water, kind of flush out my system, because maybe that's what it is. My system is kind of toxic and I need to flush out or whatever. Because I had an experience like that before where I just started to feel really sick and I just needed to flush, detox my system, water detox my system. So I decided to just drink water. This week I was supposed to have been getting my period also. I had not got my period, but it wasn't natural, or it wasn't like alarming, because I usually be late 2 or 3 days sometimes, and so I wasn't really too worried, and I decided to wait till I got home to even just worry about anything, because a lot of people say that alcohol can mess up your cycling days also. So we end up going home and my period still had not came on. But one day I ended up bleeding like brown blood, like not red blood or anything, but I ended up bleeding brown blood. So I'm thinking, okay, there's my period. So I ended up putting in a tampon. A couple of hours later, maybe 3 to 4 hours later, I ended up taking it out. Only a little bit of brown blood, so no red blood at all. So I'm thinking, I get on Google, I get to searching like brown blood, no period or whatever. And so like a lot of times, like pregnancy popped up, menopause, like a lot of stuff popped up. But pregnancy really had got my attention because I never had brown blood. Like I always bleed really heavy, or I always come on my period regardless. So I ended up deciding, okay, once a week passed, I'll take a pregnancy test, because I didn't want to break my own heart, or I didn't want to go back into depression or go to feeling sad for myself or whatever because of previous situation I had went through. So I ended up waiting a week. I ended up ordering 2 tests off Amazon. I ended up ordering the Clear Blue Digital and the First Response, not digital. And that Friday, I ended up taking the First Response test, and I got 2 lines. One was like not too faint, but the other line was kind of questionable. So I took the other test. It was the same thing. I ended up marking the test like day 1 and the date. I ended up dropping the pictures on this video also. And I did that, so I waited the next day, because it was just like take a test, you know, every morning for like 3 days or whatever. So I ended up taking the Clear Blue Digital the next morning, and it was a big fat fucking pregnant. And so I just started kind of thinking to myself, I kind of teared up, because like I said, my previous situation, I just felt like I couldn't get pregnant again, or I wouldn't get pregnant again, or just like all type of crazy stuff ran through my head. But I ended up telling my baby's father, and he was happy. He was maybe a little more happier than me, because he's been saying like he wanted to have a baby. And yeah, so I ended up telling him. He was really happy. I ended up telling my mom maybe a few weeks later, And she was even more happier because I had gave her first grandchild, and she don't have any more grandchildren. So yeah, so she was very happy and she was excited. She's ready. And let me see. So yeah, she was like explaining to me like, don't tell nobody or don't post it on social media because people pray on your downfall. People pray like good stuff don't happen to you. People hate on you, all type of stuff, which is totally true. And I felt the same way. Like a lot of people wish good stuff don't happen to good people or stuff like that. So I had not told anybody for a long time. I told her not to tell anybody. So we decided it was going to be our secret. And I ended up telling my whole family together on Thanksgiving. Everybody was excited. Everybody was proud and everybody's ready. Same little situation. So yeah, I ended up going to the doctor. They ended up telling me like I was, I think two months, like by the time I went to, no, I was about to be 2 months when I finally went to the doctor and stuff. The hospital, well, the hospital I was going to was giving me a lot of support and giving me a lot of things to read on due to my previous situation, to just be okay and not be depressed, and just giving me a lot of support, like a lot of support that I actually needed. So I was happy for that. Yeah, but before all of this, maybe a month or two before I actually got pregnant, for maybe like a year to 6 months, like in reality, I was so depressed from my last situation that I was trying to have a baby. Like I wouldn't say rushing myself, but I was rushing myself to have another baby because I needed something inside of that hole of depression and that hurt to kind of suck that up and be loved by. So I was kind of wanting to be pregnant. Like I was wanting to be a parent, like being able to hold my baby, kiss my baby, talk about just go through all the pregnancy things again. I was actually like ready, like I wanted it. So I was trying and trying and trying, like I said, for like a year, maybe 8 to 6 months or whatever, and nothing had happened. And I started to feel really bad for myself. Like I started to think like I couldn't have kids. I started to be depressed, like I wasn't gonna have kids, or like there's a lot of bad and crazy stuff had ran through my mind at that time. So I wouldn't say I gave up trying, but I stopped trying because I was just like telling myself, if God wanted to happen, like it's gonna happen, like when he wanted to happen, or when I actually needed it to happen, or whatever. So I kind of coached myself and supported myself to feel better and stop trying and just let it happen. And 2 months later, or like a month later or so, I peed on that stick, and it was very much so it had happened. Like I started to pray, I started to all type of stuff. But that's my story. It's more, but I'm tired of talking and I'm tired of standing here. Bye, y'all.
I risk my life down to the wire, cause you that important. So many voices and opinions, you made me ignore.